Hello, everybody. Today, my topic is all about strategy and policy from strategic financial management. So, strategy and policy. The term strategy is derived from the Greek word called as strategies, which means in general. Authors differ that the purpose, mission, goal, objectives as an endpoints, policies and plans means achieving them. So generally, strategy to achieve certain goals, we use certain strategies. So strategies as well as policies are equally important. And other emphasize that the end in the strategic process rather than the ends. So policies are general statements or understanding which guides a manager's thinking in decision making. They ensures that the decisions fall within the certain boundaries. So generally, strategies are strategy to achieve certain goal. We go in a different ways known as strategy, whereas policies set rules and regulations or a boundary in which the manager has to think, and based on that they have to take a decision. That is, policies are the general statement that everybody can understand, especially the one who's taking the decisions has to take into consideration. So strategy, on the other hand, concerns with the direction with the human and material resources will be applied in order to increase the chance of achieving selected objectives. As I told you, to achieve certain objectives, we have to have certain strategy. So where the two things that we take into consideration is, one is your human and one is the material resources. So these two resources together is where we have to move together to achieve a certain goal. So coming to financial policy, refers to the regulations related to the financial system of the organization, like payment system, borrowing system, and lending system. So when we are having a financial policy, generally regarding the financial, this is very, very important. Financial policy is in which when you're making a payment system or borrowing system or lending system, so we will have certain rules and regulations. So generally, if you take the banking itself, we have certain regulations like every month EMI to be paid. So how much is the rate of interest that you have to pay? So when we are coming to the payment system, when we are telling it, when you're making payment, whether it is a monthly, then whether it is a half yearly or yearly payments. When borrowing system, how much you can borrow, how much is the thing, and lending system, based on what you're going to lend, for what purpose you're going to lend. So you have certain policies that you have to maintain. In that, the financial policy takes care of these three things. One is the payment, borrowing system, and lending system. The policies are framed to introduce a financial stability, promote the market efficiency, and enhance the value of the firm for its stakeholders. So when when these policies are framed, so generally when the policies are framed, we will try to introduce a financial stability. And so when the financial stability is there, so what happened? Definitely there will be an increase in the efficiency in the market. And when there is an efficiency in the market, definitely there will be an increase in the value of the firm. So when there is an increase in the value of the firm, definitely the stakeholders will also have the value towards the organization. Every organization frames its financial policy depending upon the functionalities, requirements, suitability, and the environment in which it is functioning. Important for the growth of the organization in the long run. So for this, so generally when you're starting a business, you will have certain policies that you will have done, but for a long run, for what and all, for example, when it is functionality, the functionality it is happening or requirements is required. So for that, what are the things, from where can I source? Then suitability, whether this will be good, and from this, how the environment will in the environment, how it will function. So these things to be taken into consideration. Then strategic planning, a system long range planning activity that an organization uses to fix priority. What is strategic planning? So first we saw what is plan, what is financial planning, what is strategic planning, we will see. So fix the priorities. What we definitely, every organization will have two goals. One is the short-term goals and one is the long-term goals. So first fix the priorities. So next, strengthen the operation. What are the steps to be taken to strengthen the operation? How can we do this? Ascertain the objective. So definitely when we are doing a research, generally when we're doing a research or something, we will set certain objectives to ascertain so and so, to find this, to analyze this. So we have to set certain objectives and focus on the resource required. So we have to see what is the sources, whether it is a human resource or if it's a financial resource, and and material resource. When these three resources combine together is where we can achieve something. So we have to fix on the resources that is required are to be allocated in order. So what are the things that is required that to be allocated in order? So maybe it is a very business big business unit in wherein you have product A, B, C, wherein all these are in a long run only, and in which the present we find that the B is having a very low, very low demand for the product. So what we'll try to do to increase the product, we have to increase the marketing strategies. So in marketing strategies, and definitely the sales has to be increased. So what will we do? We'll prioritize the short-term goal. That short-term goal is to achieve the target. To achieve the target, I have to do through marketing. So when I do through marketing, what will happen? I have to try to advertise. When I advertise, there will be a demand for my product. So that is my short term. So what I have to do, I have to see what is this, what can strengthen the operation, and what are the objects to be taken into consideration, and what are the requirements. That is the, whether it is a financial, human, or it is a material resources that is required to achieve this goal. So these has to be placed in order. Then the purpose of the strategy is to attain the objective. So whatever the objectives are there, so we told that we have to ascertain the sales. Second one, we have to analyze the previous and the present and how it is doing in the past 2 months or 3 months, that one. So what are the main purposes? To achieve certain objectives that we have set for the short term goals. Then what are the planning? The strategic planning process. First, we have to see the input enterprise profile, and we have the orientation of top managers. So what will happen is, first the inputs, where we are gone from, how do we actually plan? First one, the inputs, from the inputs that we will get. Inputs, how do we get is by the sales or through the externals. Will come to know what are the things that is affecting. As I told you in the previous slide, it was like if the sales are down, if there is no demand. So these are the inputs that you have got. Then enterprise profile. So enterprise profiles in the sense how the company was working and is working, and orientation of top. So definitely the orientation of the top manager, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, and this is a strategy, and from this I think we are going to achieve a new target customers. All these things they will do. Then purpose and objectives. First one, we have to see that what are the external environment that is affecting, internal environment that is affecting. Then we should have an alternative strategies. So external environment which is affecting is the competition. Internal environment may be the equipments that they are using. Maybe we have to still advance the equipments. And alternative strategies, always there should be a plan A and plan B. If the plan A fails, we have to try to see the plan B. Same way, the strategies also, you should have a strategy A, strategy B. In case if you feel there is a less demand in the product, we have to try to switch it over to the strategy B. Then evaluation and choices of strategies. So now we will try to evaluate, and then medium short range planning implementation. So we have to keep evaluating at every stage, every point of time, maybe weekly, monthly, then quarterly, half yearly. We have to try to evaluate, and once you're evaluating, if you feel that is fixing in the right place, we'll try to implement in the further coming months. And then we have to have a control, and then consistency and contingency, which means we should have a control. We should make sure that this keeps continuing every time. Okay, so this is a strategic planning process. So first we have to take what are the inputs that is required. Second one is the enterprise profile, and third is the orientation. Then the purpose, why do we achieve this? Then we have to try to face what are the external factors, what are the internal factors. Then alternative strategies. Once you are choosing the alternative strategy, you have to make sure that we have an evaluation and choices and of strategies. Then whether we have to see whether it is for a short term, medium, or a long term. And if it is a short term, we have to try to see what kind of a short term planning we are doing. For that, you have to implement it, and we have to have a control, and we have to have a consistency wherein there should be no much fluctuations, and how consistently it is going. Okay. Major kinds of strategies and policies are: first one is growth, finance, organization, personal, public relation, product or service, and marketing. So these are the major kinds of strategies and policies definitely we'll take into if there is the major kinds of strategies and policies. So strategies for growth, we will take a certain strategies, and for that, what are the policies to be taken? The same way we saw about finance, organization also, personal as well, public relation, product and services, and marketing. Meaning of financial planning. So, financial planning is an important part of financial management. It is a process of determining the objectives of policies, procedures, programs, and budgets to deal with the financial activities of an enterprise. So, definitely, we saw what is a strategic planning. Now, we are coming to the financial planning. So, financial planning is where, as I told you, we have to have certain policies and procedures. We saw, no, in the previous slides, we saw for what are the things, if you're lending, if you're borrowing, or even if you are repaying these kind of loans, or taking the loans or repaying the loans, we have to have certain rules and regulations. So financial planning also, before having those, what is financial plan, we'll have planning also how to be done is, we have to have certain set of policies, procedures, program. So it is like, when can we lend, how much is the reserve that we have, so keeping this reserve, can I repay it? So these are the certain things that we have to see. Only until for example, if you are in an organization, your organization is running for a long run, and all of a sudden you wanted to start up with a new other unit which is there in your organization, and there is a requirement of money. So we'll see what are the sources of money that we are there, and we'll see allocation of money. So once that is done, what happens is, when already a unit A is running, so in this unit B, when it's running, you feel there is a shortage of some so there is a shortage. So definitely, when there is a shortage, you will have certain policies and procedures. If your reserve is so much, and if your working, what is that, the or what is it, uh, the cash that is there for running the operation of the organization, if there is a shortage, up to this I can take money, post to that I have to see what is the requirement that is there. So based on that is where I can go for asking of loan, or I can approach the bank. So based on these procedures is where I can do. Financial planning is the process of estimating the capital required and determining its competitiveness, competition. It is a proper process of framing financial policies in relation to the procurement, investment, and administration of funds of an enterprise. That is what I'm trying to tell. Now, why do we do this planning? Is to know where we are sourcing the fund, from where we are sourcing the fund, and where we are allocating the fund. Whether this kind of this fund is, this capital is enough, or it is even more required. So only if you plan in prior, or the budgeted priorly, only that we can do it. So objectives: to ensure the availabilities of funds whenever these are required, determining the capital structure to see the firm does not raise resource unnecessarily. As I told you, you have two units. So when you have two units, the fund that you're getting from unit A, that is one of the business unit A, if you're getting, then you do not source or raise a fund again for the business B. So instead, what you can do is, you can just take the financial resources of A, and then you can have, and then you can do this kind of a rotation that will be done. Framing policies with regard to cash control, lending, and borrowing. So this you can avoid. In case if you're generating too much of income from business unit A, you can just use that income for the other unit B, so that when you're generating, when you have enough of money, you do not have a lending, or you need not borrow anything. Okay, so to ensure that scarce of financial resources are maximally utilized in the best possible manner, at least cost in order to get minimum return on investment. So whatever we are doing, when we're investing something, return on investment is what we ask. That is what even in financial planning also, if you're investing, whether it is in a mutual fund, or if you're doing any FDs also, what we generally do is, what is the interest on that interest, how much we're getting back. So interest, that is investment. What are the investment you're making? For that, what is the interest that you're getting, or the return that you're getting, is what we're seeing. What are the importance? So importance is adequate funds have to be ensured. Helps in ensuring the reasonable balance between the outflow and the inflow, that the stability is maintained, ensures the suppliers of funds are easily investing in companies which are exercise financial planning, helps in making growth and expansions program which helps in long run, reduces uncertainties with regards to changing in market trends which can be easily faced through enough funds, and financial planning helps in reducing the uncertainties which can be hindrance to the growth of the company. So when you are planning in prior itself regarding the financial planning, if you're doing so, it will be really helpful. Otherwise you will not need not face in further future, means in future. So this helps in the ensuring the stability and the profitability in the concern. Thank you.